Hello everyone, and thank you all so much for joining me virtually to celebrate the end of my senior year with my theater capstone. This semester I've had the pleasure of working on an independent study with Professor Rachael Cauffield for my politics degree, alongside planning my theater capstone with Professor Adam Yankowy that both combine my passion for theater with my interest in politics. Through these projects, I've been writing a research paper that explores the connections between political movements, specifically the women's liberation movement, and how women are portrayed in musical theater. The movements I examined not only brought about political change for women, but also altered their role in the American society. Tonight, I hope to take you on a cabaret exploration of some of the most major connections I've discovered. To start us off, I'm going to be setting the stage for what musical theater looked like in the Golden Age, before the women's liberation movement gave women a voice. In this time period, there were two stereotypes of women seen on stage. The first is the sweet ingenue who can do no wrong, and the second is the funny character role that is generally over-sexualized. The role that these characters played in the plot of musicals always centered around men, and never showcased them standing up for themselves or doing what they believed was right.
What's the use of wondering if he's good or if he's bad, or if you like the way he wears his hat? Oh, what's the use of wondering if he's good or if he's bad? He's your feather and you love him. That's all there is to that. Something made him the way that he is, whether he's false or true, and something gave him the things that are his. One of those things is you. So when he wants your kisses, you will give them to the lad, and anywhere he leads you, you will walk. And anytime he needs you, you'll go running there like mad. You're his girl, and he's your feather, and all the rest is talk. I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix. I always say, come on, let's go, just when I ought to say nix. When a person tries to kiss a girl, I know I ought to give his face a smack. But as soon as someone kisses me, I somehow sorta wanna kiss him back. I'm just a fool when lights are low. I can't be prissy and quaint. I am the type that can faint. How can I be what I ain't? I can't say no.
One of the major things the women's liberation movement fought for was the ability to work. Women had largely been limited to housework and homemaking until this point in time. While the movement was largely successful and many women began entering the working world, the push for careers for women also created tensions between working women and housewives. These tensions started early on in the movement and lasted for decades. This next song, Just a Housewife from Working, was written in the late 70s, which demonstrates just how long these tensions lasted.
All I am is just a housewife, nothing great. What I do is out of fashion, what I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother, right away I'm not too bright. What I do is unfulfilling, so the TV I am is busy, busy. All I am is like my mother. All I am is just a housewife.
Another common trope seen in Golden Age musical theater was the idea that women only needed to work to find love, and once they did, they should quit their job. It took a long time to see ambitious female roles in musical theater seeking job success beyond romance. The most iconic version of this role is seen in the song Happy to Keep His Dinner Warm from How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. While I personally couldn't bring myself to sing this song in my capstone because it feels a little too oppressive for my liking, in this next set there are 2 songs from Golden Age shows where there was opportunity for female ambitions to thrive. However, ultimately the man swoops in the end and saves the day. The last song in this set illustrates how this has changed over time to put personal ambitions above serving a man.
All you gotta do is say hello to a man, and they'll have you whispering in his ear. All you gotta do is be polite with him, and they'll have you spending the night with him. If there's a guy you merely grab a beer with, they've got you setting the wedding date. Seems they've just got to have some dirt to bend your ear with. So before you start, I herewith state, I'm not at all in love, not at all in love, not I, not an ounce, not a pinch. He's just an inch too sure of himself for me. It's crazy, ridiculous, it doesn't make sense. That's true, but what can I do? I'm in love with a man, Plaza O, 443. It's a perfect relationship. I can't see him, he can't see me. I'm in love with a voice, Plaza O, 443. What a perfect relationship. I talk to him and he just talks to me. And yet I can't help wondering, what does he look like? I wish I knew. What does he look like? Is he 6'7" or 3'2"? Has he eyes of brown or baby blue? Big and mighty or underfed? Trim black mustache or beard of red? Can he dance like Fred Astaire? Is he dark or is he fair? It doesn't matter what he'd be, how he'd love me. Suzanne Safran. Yes, Mr. Moss. Yes, Mr. Moss. But he's still just a voice. Plus O, 443. It's a perfect relationship. I can't see him, he can't see me. He calls me Mom, he thinks I'm 63. And I'll never meet him, and he'll never meet me. No, he'll never meet me. Write what you know, so they say. All I know is I don't know what to write or the right way to write it. This is big, lady, don't screw it up. This is not some little vaudeville I'm reviewing. Poor little kids versus rich, greedy sourpusses. Huh? It's a cinch. It could practically write itself, and let's pray it does. Because as I may have mentioned, I have no clue what I'm doing. Am I insane? This is what I've been waiting for. Well, that plus the screaming of 10 angry editors. A girl? It's a girl. Are
Picture a handsome, heroically charismatic, plain-spoken, know-nothing, skirt-chasing, copula son of a lie down with dogs, and you'll wake up with a raise and a promotion. So he's a flirt, a complete egomaniac. The fact is he's also the face of the strike. What a face? Face the facts. That's a face that can save us all from sinking in the ocean. Like someone said, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power, wait, corrupts absolutely. That is genius. But give me some time. I'll be twice as good as that. 6 months from never. Just look around at the world we're inheriting and think of the one we'll create. Their mistake is they got old, and that's not a mistake we'll be making. No, sir, we'll stay young forever. Give those kids and me the brand new century and watch what happens. It's David and Goliath, do or die. The fight is on, and I can't watch what happens. But all I know is nothing happens if you just give in. It can't be any worse than how it's been, and it just so happens that we just might win. So whatever happens, let's begin. One thing that I wanted to do with this cabaret is not only share the research that I've been doing, but also share my platform with the stories of other women, because I, as a straight cis white woman, cannot tell the whole story myself. Black, Indigenous, and women of color have historically faced far more oppression than white women, and continue to be some of the most underrepresented voices on Broadway. So here are 3 of my friends, Rachael Armstrong, Sydney Crutcher, and Sarah Rosales, to share their voices and experiences with us.
Hello everyone, my name is Rachael Armstrong. I'm currently a junior music theater major at Viterbo University in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and I am so honored to be a part of Cassidy's capstone project. I have been asked to sing a song from Flower Drum Song, Love Look Away, and one thing that I think is super amazing about this musical is in the revival on the West End with Lea Salonga, it was the first cast ever on a live musical stage to have an entirely Asian cast. So it was Filipino, it was Korean, it was Japanese, Chinese actors coming together to bring this story to life. And that's something that is so exciting to me about where the industry is moving as far as representation in theater and expanding what our views as an audience is when we look at an Asian actor on stage. And you know, there's a lot of musicals like Anything Goes and Thoroughly Modern Millie and King and I that have like a lot of historical value as far as what it has done for musical theater and its history. However, we are pushing forward to have more representation and, you know, just more diverse characters that can be brought to the stage, which I find to be very exciting as an Asian American actress myself. I'm very excited for more opportunities, and I feel I've been very fortunate growing up in Seattle, where there is a huge Asian American community, especially in theater, where we were able to be in roles that weren't necessarily race specific, and we could, you know, do roles that were originally played by white actors, and we could bring our own spin to it and how that changes a story. So yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of this project. And without further ado, this is Love Look Away from Flower Drum Song by Rodgers and Hammersteins.
I have wished before, I will wish no more. Love, look away. Love, look away from me. Fly when you pass my door. Fly and get lost at sea. Call it a day. Love, let us say we're through. No good are you for me. No good am I for you. Wanting too much. After you go, I cry too much. Love, look away. Lonely though I may be, leave me and set me free. Look away, look away, look away from me. Wanting you so, I try too much. After you go, I cry too much. Love, look away. Lonely though I may be, leave me and set me free. Look away, look away, look away from me. Daddy played piano, played it very well. Music from those hands could catch you like a spell. He could make you love him, for the tune was done. You have your daddy's hands. You are your daddy's son. Daddy never knew that you were on your way. He had other ladies and other tunes to play. When he up and left me, I just up and ran. Only thing in my head, you were your daddy's son. Couldn't hear no music, couldn't see no light. Mama, she was frightened, crazy from the fright. Tears without no comfort, screams without no sound. Only darkness and pain, the anger and pain, the blood and the pain. I buried my heart in the ground, in the ground. When I buried you in the ground. Daddy played piano, that he's playing still. Mama won't forget him, don't suppose I will. God wants no excuses, I have only one. You had your daddy's hands, forgive me. You were your daddy's son.
From the beginning of American musical theater with Ziegfeld's Follies, women have been held to unrealistic beauty standards and overly sexualized by men. Despite this, women who choose to own their sexuality or dress revealing are judged and slut-shamed for their decisions. The show The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas explores the idea of society shaming women for their sexuality, and portrays the character of Dotsime, who dreams of being beautiful and free to be sexy, but is limited by society. This was one of the first instances in musical theater where women were given the opportunity to explore their own sexuality instead of having it be exploited by men. In contemporary musical theater, we have seen more opportunities for women to find power in their sexuality. Coming up next, I will be singing a mashup of songs from the musicals Chicago and Six, arranged by my dear friend Sydney Crutcher, who will also be singing with me. I asked her to explore these two shows because of the extremely dominated female cast and the opportunity for sexual empowerment seen in both their scripts. Chicago glamorizes and sexualizes women being murderers. This was a common trope media put on feminists to make empowered women seem crazy. While modern adaptations and revivals may have opportunities to explore this differently, the original all-male production team definitely presents these characters in a way that men sexualize women. Six, on the other hand, is written in an incredibly empowering way. It follows the stories of the 6 ex-wives of Henry VIII, giving them closure, redemption, and in some cases even revenge as they sing about their lives. It is written in the style of British pop girl bands by Lucy Moss and Toby Marlowe. In my opinion, this show allows these women who were wronged by Henry VIII to reclaim their lives and sexuality in a way that is fun, flirty, and female empowering, and that having a woman on the writing team is a significant reason why this was able to happen.
Pop.
6.
Squish. Cicero.
Lipschitz.
Pop.
6.
Squish.
Cicero.
Lipschitz.
Pop.
6.
Squish. Cicero.
Lipschitz.
Pop.
6.
Squish. Cicero.
Lipschitz.
Pop.
6.
Squish. Cicero.
Lipschitz.
He had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. Pop.
6.
Squish. Cicero.
Lipschitz.
Pop.
6.
Squish. Cicero.
Lipschitz. He had it
I
coming.
loved
He
Alvin
had it
Lipschitz.
coming.
More than I
He
can
had
possibly say.
himself to
He was a
blame.
real
If you'd
artistic
have
guy,
been there, if
sensitive,
you'd have seen it,
a painter,
I bet you
but
would
he
have
was
done
always
the
trying to
same.
find himself.
He had it coming.
He'd go out
He had it
every night
He
looking for
only had
himself.
himself to
And on the way, he
blame.
found
If
Ruth,
you'd have been there,
Gladys,
if you'd have seen it,
Rosemary.
I bet you
and
would have
Irving.
done the same.
I guess you could say we broke up because of artistic
He had it
differences.
coming.
He saw himself
only
as
had
alive,
himself to
and, well,
blame.
I saw him dead. I've put up with your like every single day.
Whoa, whoa.
But now it's time to and listen when I say they had it coming.
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 had it
all
coming
along.
all along.
'Cause if they used
'Cause
us
if they used
and
us
they abused
and
us,
they abused us,
how
could you tell us that we were? You must agree that, baby, in all the time I've been by your side, I've never lost control, no matter how many times I knew you lied. Had my golden rule, gotta keep my cool, yeah, baby.
You know she's gotta keep it cool.
And even though you've had your fun running around with some pretty young thing, and even though you've had one son with someone who don't own a wedding ring, no matter what I heard, I didn't say a word, no, baby.
You know she never said a word.
You're just so full of must think that I'm naive.
Whoa, whoa.
I won't back down, won't and no, I'll never leave.
The dirty bum, 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 bum. The dirty bum, 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 bum. He had it coming.
You must think that I'm crazy.
Artistic
you wanna
differences.
replace me, baby. There's no way.
Coming. You know,
If you
some
think
guys
for a
just can't hold
moment,
their
I grant you a
arsenic.
moment. Just hold up. There's no
He had it
way.
coming. And he ran into my
No
knife.
way.
He ran into
No
my
way.
knife 10 times.
There's
He
no
had it
way.
coming.
No
Number
way.
17, the spread
No
eagle.
way. There's no. I bet you would have done the same.
In this next section, I'm sharing my stage again, this time to amplify queer voices. During the women's movement, queer women fought to have space for their voices to be heard by the other women of the movement. Queer women, even more than queer men, are rarely given positive representation in the media. Musical theater is no exception and has few positive stories about queer women. In the last 5 years, this number has increased greatly, but is still very, very limited. So without further ado, here are a few of my friends, Julianne, Farley, and Morgan Stacer, to share their voices and their experiences with us.
Hi, my name is Julianne. I'm an acting major at Hutchin College, and I'm also a part of the LGBTQ community, and I wanted to share my thoughts on representation of queer women in the media. I often find in general when watching movies or theater that have a main character as gay, the storyline is always about coming out. Not only is it about coming out, but it generally gives the audience the idea that being gay or lesbian is the character's only trait, such as the gay best friend. This creates a really harmful narrative around the LGBTQ+ community, especially to people who may not be as educated on the topic. Some people have said to me, "Well, Julianne, representation is representation. You shouldn't be picky about it." But that's the problem. In this day and age, we consume massive amounts of media and entertainment. This makes a difference in how people see certain communities and minorities. For example, in the hit musical Rent, 2 of the main characters are lesbian and bisexual. The audience watches the bisexual woman cheat on and break up with her straight boyfriend for another woman, which pushes a really upsetting stereotype. The stereotype around bisexuals is that they have more options, so they're more likely to cheat. This also pushes harmful biphobia, specifically in the community. The idea that bisexual women are just lesbians waiting to happen, or spicy straights, is incredibly invalidating and just not true. This is why I think it's very important for the media and entertainment industry to show a positive, correct representation of queer women to promote acceptance in ourselves, as well as within our communities. Dear Lucy, so I'm bored to the point of snoring, cause some dork caught the flu this morning and decided not to join me in math today. Thanks. So I'm writing you this letter to say I hope you're getting better, cause you missed out on Mr. Jenkins, pull a classic Mr. J. And the way I sat, just waiting for you to walk through that door, or the way I laughed, imagining the times we shared before. Maybe it's the other night, or the fact that we hooked up. But when I looked up and I saw you were gone, I realized we have a little bit more together. And I know we've been friends forever, but the truth is that I'm not afraid to say it. I love you, Lucy, more than you will know. Can't get you out of my mind, out of my mind. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this. Okay. Here goes. Well, I hope this doesn't scare you away. I think about it every day since 4th grade when we made our first trade. Your pudding for my PB&J. Now that it's out on the line, I'd like to take this time to apologize for the other night, but how the light hit your face and it made me want to kiss you. But moving too fast, but you kissed back, so how could I resist? It was a good thing, it was a good night, it was a great night. It was my first time, but now I see we have a little bit more together, and I know we've been friends forever, but the truth is that I'm not afraid to say it. I love you, Lucy, more than you will know. Can't get you out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind. It's thrilling how the skinny little filling of vanilla flavor ever have a chance with you, but it's thrilling, feels like every second's killing me unwillingly. I swear it's like a million little dreams come true, but I can't get with it until you admit it, that you love me. Lucy, do you love me too? 'Cause if you do, we have a little bit more together. I can't get you out of my mind, out of my mind. Out of my mind. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Morgan Stacer, and I am singing Just Breathe from The Prom. The prom is about 2 girls trying to go to the prom together as dates, and they have to fight their school district and the city government to be able to go, because they're in a very small town conservative place, and 2 lesbians going to the prom is just like a crazy idea. And so the prom is important to me because it was the first Broadway representation of happy lesbians. So when Cassidy asked me to sing a song from the show, I was just like so overjoyed because it's really fun. It's a really good representation and I love the show. Thank you. Note to self, Don't be gay in Indiana. Big heads up, that's a really stupid plan. There are places where it's in to be out, maybe San Francisco or thereabout. But in Indiana, without a doubt, if you're not straight, then guess what's bound to hit the fan? Just breathe, Emma. Not everyone is that repressed. Just breathe, Emma. It wouldn't be high school without a test. Just close your eyes and count to 10. Go to your happy place and then try not to combust, but just breathe. Note to self, people suck in Indiana. Leave today, pray the Greyhound is in full. Who knew asking out a girl to the prom would go over just like an atom bomb and make things much worse with your dad and mom? And who'd have ever thought that could be possible? Just breathe, Emma. Picture a beach with golden sand. Just breathe, Emma. Picture a Xanax in your hand. Try journaling or start a blog just in this inner monologue and see if you must, but just breathe. Just breathe, Emma. Remember that thing called oxygen. Just breathe, Emma. Look at the crazy state you're in. Just smile and nod, although they're jerks. Say namaste and pray it works. And like we've discussed, just breathe.
During the height of the women's movement, the term feminist was incredibly polarizing. Many women chose to distance themselves from the term, even if they believed that women deserved more equality, because of the negative connotations that were associated with it for being radical, dirty, hating men, etc. In order to cater to both sides in a time of polarization, media often portrayed feminist ideas through a humorous lens, so that whether you agreed or disagreed, you could leave entertained and with your beliefs intact. This next set of songs gives an example of this type of portrayal of feminism and explores the pressures that were put on women along with it.
For a whole lot of years, you might say that I've been expecting, but I always make sure that I didn't expect too much. I sat around in my potential, and now that I've heard this news, it's released all these possibilities, and all I have to do is choose. I want it all. I want it all. I want the whole female experience in a ball. I want it all. I want the morning sickness and the elation. I want every known female sensation. I want to be Scarlett O'Hara, Joan of Arc, or in the call. I want it all.
over here. It was quite a bout, but I've worked it out, and now the answer's very clear. I want it all.
yeah.
I want it all.
yeah.
I want adventure, love, career, kids large and small. I want it all. I want a quiet, simple life and some glory. And Steven Spielberg filming my first story. I want to be Gloria Steinem, Janis Joplin, Annie Hall.
I wanna be Katharine Hepburn, Connie Chung, Madame de Stael.
I want to be Mother Teresa, Sally Ride, Lucille Ball. I want it all.
Oh no, my friends, there's no two ways to slice it. You must choose, my friends. And there are things you gain, but some you lose, my friends. Some truly lovely things.
Like what?
Like an overture of romance, an element of surprise. The things any grown-up practical woman gives up if she's wise. I want it all.
Oh, yeah.
I want it all.
Oh, yeah.
There's a rise up to the heights and then a fall. I want it all. Don't try to tell me that I can't have my druther. I'll be a mother who is also a mother. I wanna know that I can find inside me anyone I need. I wanna be Donna McKechnie, Donna Summer, Donna Reed. I want to be Margaret Sanger, Margaret Thatcher, and Mead. I want it all.
I want it all. I want to find a way to break through every wall. I want it all.
I want Tahiti.
I want a Grammy.
I want stretch bars. I want a pedicure. I want dill pickles.
I want a Learjet.
I want a string.
I want the Nobel Prize.
I want to make totem poles out of fruit cans. I want it all.
I want it.
I want it all.
I want it all.
I want it all. I could get into this.
I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist. Oh, so I got a black eye. Yeah, my arm's in a cast. Still, that Seymour's a cutie. Well, if not, he's got inner beauty. And I dream of a place where we could be together at last. Well, it's just a daydream of mine. A little development I dream of just off the interstate. Not fancy like Levittown, just a little street in a little suburb far, far from Oiben, Skid Row. The sweetest, greenest place where all the houses have the same little lawn out front and the same little flagstone patio out back. And they all look so neat and pretty, 'cause they all look just alike. Oh, I dream about it all the time. Just me and the toaster and a sweet little guy like Seymour. A matchbox
somewhere that's green.
As women found more power in their careers and control over their sexuality, one area that the women's liberation movement shifted their attention to was women's health. This movement changed the way that people all over the world viewed healthcare, making it more of an active relationship between the patient and the caregiver. Reproductive rights and education were one major aspect of this. Two of my favorite shows, Carrie and Spring Awakening, deal directly with these issues. Carrie, which deals with marital rape, sex education, and religion as an argument against sex education, premiered in 1988, a time when the country was at an all-time peak in polarization about abortion, thanks to the Reagan administration. Spring Awakening similarly deals with the need for sex education and abortion. It premiered in 2006, which is the same year that Bush enacted his abstinence-only sex education bill. While I could talk about the significance of these shows for probably the rest of the cabaret, let's get back to the singing, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to me after the show.
That's not my name. Doesn't anybody ever get it right? Carrie. Why don't they remember I'm Carrie White? Carrie. It isn't any harder to say than goddamn toad and spastic and weirdo and dumb bitch. Doesn't anybody think that I can hear? I hear, especially when I got them screaming in my ear. I hear. Every day they mock me and push me around till I drop. If I had a wish, God, I'd wish they'd stop. When will they? I wish they'd. When will they? When will they? When will they? Sometimes their hatred is out of control. God, how they hurt me. Mama says suffering is good for the soul, but they hurt me. And if I could, I'd bring them all down to their knees. I'd make them sorry forever for teasing Carrie, Carrie, Carrie. I will not cry. I am okay. I try so hard to play their way. Why do they find it so hard to say? Carrie, why do they always treat me so bad? They all know my name. It's Carrie. I don't know why they all get so mad. It's always the same. What's going on deep in me? All of these feelings suddenly. If I am changing, will I still be Carrie? Or what if I am somebody new? Imagine the things I might do. I might take a chance. I've always wondered how. And maybe I'll dance and try hard to laugh more than I do now. And the world will open its eyes, and for once the whole world will recognize Carrie. Then all those people who scream night and day, portrayed Carrie, they'll see the new me, and they might even say, look, it's Carrie. And finally I'll hear that word sounding so sweet, thousands of voices forever repeating Carrie, Carrie, Carrie. I am the sound of distant thunder, the color of flame. I'm Carrie. little miss didn't do right, went and ruined all the true plans. Such a shame, such a sin. Had a sweetheart on his knees, so faithful and adoring, and he touched me, and I let him love me, so let that be my story. Listening for the hope, for the new life, something beautiful, a new chance. Hear it whispering there again.
Throughout my research process, I realized how long it's taken for real, imperfect women with imperfect stories and lofty ambitions to reach the stage of Broadway. Many shows will choose to dance around contemporary issues by setting the show in the past or a different country. However, there are many shows that give me hope for the amazing women's stories that will be told on Broadway in the coming decades. My next song, which is Me in the Sky from Come From Away, was written by David Hein and Irene Sankoff. The show tells the story of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, but is also able to highlight the difficulties that Beverly Bass faced as the first female American captain. Having female writers like Irene Sankoff, along with female directors and producers, will continue to make the portrayal of women in musical theater more realistic.
My parents must have thought they had a crazy kid, 'cause I was one of those kids who always knew what I wanted. They took me down to the airport to see all the planes departing, watching them fly. Something inside of me was starting. I was 8 when I told them that I'd be
Thank you all so much for coming tonight. I know that this may not be a traditional senior recital, but it means so much to see all of your faces here. I wanted to take a moment to thank all of my voice teachers and accompanists that I've worked with at Drake. Thank you to Gloria Olson, Elaine Wedeking, Adam Yankowy, and Francine Griffith. I also want to give a big thank you to all of my friends, family, pets, and professors who have all played an integral role in shaping who I've become as a performer in the last 3.5 years. My last song of the night is from the musical Little Women. I love this show not only because of the beautiful music and fun plot, but also because it tells the story of a family of women and empowers female storytelling. Additionally, it is based on the book by Louisa May Alcott and had Mindy Dickstein on the creative team who wrote the lyrics. I believe that the more women tell their own stories and the more women are involved in creating and writing theater, the better women will be represented on stage.
Meg, the oldest and most romantic, said, "It's not fair some girls have pretty things while we have nothing." "And it won't be Christmas without presents," grumbled Amy with her usual pout. "And we haven't got father to read to us," said Joe, who yearned to travel and write great books. Only Beth, sitting contented, said in a tone so sweet, even angels would have listened. "But we've got each other." Thank you.